Hello and welcome to the Nellie and Eve podcast, episode 3. Hello, I'm Helen. Thank you for joining me. I'm the owner and dyer behind Nellie and Eve Plant Dyed Yarns, and you find me here today in my studio in West Wales, UK. This is a podcast about my makes of knitting and crochet, also my latest whips and finished objects, and a little bit about rural life in West Wales, my sheep, and my dye garden too. And you're very welcome joining me. So in this episode, well, first of all, apologies because it's been ages since I've done this, and not for the want of trying, but I've just been a bit busy behind the scenes. I've been working really hard on the dye garden, which I'm going to show you in a little while in this episode. And also I've been crocheting and knitting a lot, but also I've started dyeing my autumn yarn collection too. So busy behind the scenes, but I thought I'd come on here and say hi and show you my latest whip, my finished object, and also the dye garden. So in previous episodes, I've been talking about a project to do with the Fleur Sweater. That is the pattern that I got hold of. And I thought I'd do my own version of it. And here it is. So I'm going to show you it now because I'm really happy about it. This is my version of the Fleur Sweater, which I am dead chuffed about. I decided to do a vest or slipper over. Actually, in my day, it was called a tank top. So a garment with no sleeves. Let's call it that. Because actually, I just enjoyed the fact that I just quite liked how this motif works out on your arm. So it gives you almost like a little short sleeve without trying. Which I really love. Really loved the project. I think I haven't counted how many motifs there are here, but I think there's about 90 or so of the crocheted motifs. I've got one here to show you. Yeah, they kind of were like this to start with. And I crocheted 90 odd of those. I blocked them as I went and then sewed them all up together to create a garment. Now, the wonderful thing about crochet in this form is that once you've done all of your squares, in this case, the sewing up of them is really quick, and suddenly you create a garment within a couple of hours, which is really satisfying, I feel, for crochet. So it was a joy. It was a really fun project because if you are a crocheter, you know how portable doing little motifs is. so I could take them out with me wherever I went, and I didn't have to take a huge project bag with me. And like I say, it sewed up and was created very quickly. So what I did was I sewed up the motifs which were blocked, and then I blocked the garment again before I did a knitted edge on the neck. So I knitted that. Now that is per pattern, although I had my own stitch count here, and I did a little Italian bind off. And then I did around the sleeve, a lot looser actually, because I didn't want a tight sleeve, and at the bottom as well. So step back and show you. Be happy with it. Oh, obviously you could make it really fun with lots of different colours in the motifs, but I quite like the single colour because the motif gives you that pattern, which is really rather sweet. So what did I use? So I used my Dale's 50/50 4-ply fingering weight, but I held that double to get gauge. And I used 4mm hook, and also I used a 3mm needle around the neck, but I then used, I'm looking at my notes, I used a 4mm needle around the hem and the arms. What else can I tell you about it? Well, I love it. I feel like I've created a garment out of nothing. So yeah, dead chuffed about that. So going on from there, so I've got a whip. Just bear with me one moment. Lovely mug from Tim Lake Ceramics. He's a friend of mine and he makes these gorgeous little cups. Right. So that is my finished project. I'm going to give you a little peek at my whip. It's a test knit for wonderful, lovely Nora from Fox and Folk. That's her tag on Instagram. Go follow her, she's gorgeous. Lovely knitwear designer based in the US. It's not a secret test knit, so I can show you this, but I don't want to show too much of it because I'd like to talk about it a bit more when I've finished it and she has released the pattern. But for now, all I will say is I am knitting a shawl. I am using a new yarn that is coming to my shop in the autumn, and it's 100% Jacob. And I'll talk to you about that a bit more too in coming episodes. And it's a lovely pattern. It's giving me joy. There's some I-cord work and there is a motif within the shawl, which is a sort of which has got a little cable kind of chart. Oh, I'm going to just show you that bit. That's all I'm going to show you. I think probably she has the pattern already on her Instagram page if you want to really have a look at it. But I'm not going to show you anymore. I'm really sorry. And you know me by now, you know that is all I've been doing. I don't have lots of whips on the go, so I can't show you anything else right now other than that lovely colour yarn, which is coming to the shop in the autumn. There's some of it behind here. There's a lovely moss colour as well. And it's beautiful yarn that I've had spun up, especially for me, from my lovely friends at the local woolen mill near me. And it's a yarn that's been made from fleeces from Jacob sheep that graze just a couple of miles from here. And they're owned by a lovely lady who gave me my first ever fleece when I started out as a hand spinner. Oh, crumbs. Gosh, about 15 years ago. So it feels really lovely to now be creating a yarn from her fleeces. So that's all I'll say about that for now. What else has been happening? Well, like I say, I've been dyeing loads of this yarn for the shop for autumn. I've got my first show of the autumn coming up. Actually, sorry, it's my only show of autumn coming up in September, which is at Unravel Autumn in Farnham, Surrey. So if you're in the area or you can get to it, then please do. It's a lovely show. And I'll have lots of goodies there to share with you then. And yeah, it's a funny time, August. Summer has happened a little bit. We're on the mountains here, so we don't get it too hot, which I like. I don't really like the heat too much. I'm much more of an autumn girl, so yeah, I like it, but not too much of it. So it's just good. It's a bit cloudy now, so apologies for the weird light. I've put some more lighting in here, but it's clouding over now. It looks like it may rain, but that's okay, because actually it's really good for my new dye garden, and that's what I'm going to go and show you now. So come with me into the garden. So behind me is the dye garden I've been working on for probably nearly all summer, and it's been hard work, but I'm really loving how it's turned out. I'm going to turn you around so you can get a closer look. So this is the first half of the dye garden, and if you've seen the previous episodes, you'll have seen what it used to be like. I'll see if I can put a picture in here with a before photo of it for you to see, but I am really happy with it. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of digging, but the rewards are just there for all to see. Well, certainly for me. I'm really happy with it. I am still planning on doing a dye guard on this side too, to mirror what you can see on the left, but I'm going to concentrate on just getting the flower border done first, and then I can add the borders over the summer, last bit of summer. So it will be a late planting on that side, but that's okay. Just to get the landscaping done first will be really good. And actually there's no digging to be done on this side, because I'm just going to put a membrane down flat onto the grass, and then put the borders on top, and then infill with soil. So not quite as much hard work, but here is the first instalment. So what I've got planted up here is wild carrot, which I absolutely love. And I love how the heads start to curl over. I'll show you this one here. Look how beautiful that is. That's just stunning. I love those. So that's wild carrot. Really pretty. There's a bit of tansy in the middle. Tiny little plant, but this plant will grow huge right in the centre. And that gives a really pretty yellow flower for a lovely yellow dye. Next we've got purple loose strife. The bees love it. That's there. And I've put a teasel in the centre, not a dye plant, but it's just a little nod to my wool spinning traditions. Traditionally, they would have used teasels to card wool. Oh, look at that dark cloud in the background there. Gosh, I think I'm going to get some rain in a bit. Then we have calendula and yarrow and some Dyer's chamomile. Really small plants right now, but these will come. It's only their first season now. I really wanted to get something in to show you and to feel like there was actually something growing in this bit of the garden. Here we've got some lovely Dyer's coreopsis. Look at that cute little plant. A beautiful flower head. These flower heads will be picked and dried and then used in dyeing. So the more you pick, the more they flower, which is great. So that's them. And when I found this lovely little bit of quartz while I was digging, so I popped that there, hoping that it will give us lots of lovely positive energies. And then the last bed has got weld in it, which is a bit spindly right now, but the flowers are coming on the head there, on the little spikes, spires, and we've got some madder, and actually the little, it's flowering. See that tiny little flower? Let's see if it focuses. Tiny little flower. It's a funny plant. It's a bit like Velcro, you know, that sticky, it sticks to everything. I don't know if you can see the fine, can you see the fine little kind of hairs it has? So it can climb, but I'm going to let it just roam around this area because it will not be harvested for 2 years. And then you use the root in dyeing and it makes a lovely red colour. Apparently the roots can get to be about 2 meters long, which is great because I'll have loads to use. So that's going to stay in there for a long time, as will the weld. And the weld will, you know, thicken, will bunch up and get good. I've also got some in the greenhouse to plant up, but it's just a bit small because the season's been topsy-turvy and it's only just starting to grow. But there you are. So small baby steps for now in the garden, but any gardeners out there know that these plants will grow big in not too long a time, and suddenly I'll be fighting for space. So it's really difficult to just leave the spaces. I find that really hard with gardening. I like to fill everything, but I am going to leave the spaces. Blue tarp is covering up the rest of the wood for this side of the border, so once that's done I can get some more dye plants in. I've got woad, perennial, coreopsis, lady's bed straw, that kind of thing, sawwort, so that can go in there. But for now, here is what I have done. The project of the season for me, this has been, and I am really happy with it. So quite a difference in the garden, I think you'll agree, if you've seen the previous episodes and saw what it was like beforehand. A huge difference. I'll try and put a before picture here somewhere. Um, and it's a joy. Obviously, it's a work in progress, but that's what gardening's all about. It gives me great joy to be there and to see what's happening. And actually, it's bringing life into this part of the garden. The studio has bees buzzing around it now and some butterflies, and it feels really joyful and full of life, which is great, eh? It's a lovely space to be. And I will show you how it develops over the seasons. I'm hoping probably not this year, but obviously in the coming seasons, there'll be lots more plants to harvest, and I can create colours and yarn collections specifically from that particular dye garden, which will be great fun, and yeah, a lovely thing to be able to achieve from just being outside the studio door. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for watching. If you like this episode, then please pop a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And I'd really appreciate it. That'd be lovely. Thank you again. And wherever you are, you take care and have a lovely day. Bye bye.